is a salad that usually has parsley, lots of mint, bulgur wheat and tomato. Now I'm going to keep the parsley in it, but instead of using the bulgur wheat, I'm going to make this 100% vegetables. And to replace the bulgur wheat, I'll be adding some raw cauliflower. Now I'm going to do everything in my cuisine companion, chopping and grating. First up, a nice generous amount of parsley. I don't mind using some of the stalks, so I'll just cut half of the base off and the rest of the stalks can go in so we get a really nice intense parsley flavour. I've placed the blade in the bowl and I'll rip the parsley into 3 big chunks. And our spring onions, I'll just take the dark green part off. I don't want that. I'll cut this into thirds and then that can also go into our bowl. Now I'll place the lid on and I'll pulse this 5 or 6 times just to roughly chop these vegetables. And just like that, it's finely chopped and it smells divine. Now is the stage I add the tomatoes. I don't like the skin on my tomatoes in the tabouli, so what I've done is brought a pot of water to the boil, placed the tomatoes in just for 5 seconds, taken them out, refreshed them in some iced water, and then I've peeled them. Now I'll cut them into quarters and they can go into our bowl. And again, pulsing this for 3 or 4 times. Okay, this is the texture that I'm looking for. Everything's finely chopped. The tomatoes are still holding their shape because we haven't cooked them in the water, so everything's still really nice and fresh. Now it's time to replace the blade. So let's take out the base of this tabouli, place it in a large bowl, and we'll scoop all of that gorgeous mixture out. Right, now for the cauliflower. I like to use a coarse grater so we get that real crumb effect. We'll place that into the bowl, no need to wash it whatsoever. I'll replace the lid just so we have a chute to put through the cauliflower. Now, I'll cut that in half first and I'll use the larger half. You'll be surprised how much of this cauliflower crumb we'll get out of a quarter of cauliflower. Now that they're in smaller bits, let's start grating. All right, done. I want to show you the texture of this gorgeous cauliflower. Look at that, done in moments, and it's all uniform, exactly how I want it. Now, into the bowl with our tomato and our parsley. See how much of that cauliflower we have there? Just so yummy, so crunchy. Now I'll mix this so it's all combined and you really show off the speckles of parsley and tomato throughout that cauliflower. Great, we need to add our seasoning, a generous pinch of salt, good crack of pepper, and then my spice of choice for this would have to be sumac. Sumac has a beautiful, rich, almost tomato-like flavour. It's also quite sweet. What it is, in fact, is a berry that's been dried in the sun, and that's why it gets its intense flavour. Now for some lemon, the juice of 1 lemon, and I'll squeeze that all over, catching all of those seeds. And just to tie everything together, a generous amount of extra virgin olive oil. Use nice, good quality Australian extra virgin olive oil for this so we can taste it in our dressing. So about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And if you're taking this to your friend's barbecue or you're serving this, don't dress it until the last minute. I know I say it all the time, but you want that crunchy texture in this salad, so please leave it to the last minute. Now, if you're a vegan, you would just have this as is. However, I love the addition of some feta, some Greek feta crumbled up. Just gives it another dimension. Definitely not your traditional tabouli, but it's my style of tabouli and I think it's fantastic. And let's fold all of that through. The feta's almost like a surprise because it resembles that cauliflower. So you think you're only going to get vegetables and then wham, some beautiful feta. All right, let's plate this up. And and then we'll serve that in the bowl. Gorgeous colours. This is a salad that you could spend maybe 25 minutes chopping all the vegetables, or you can let the machine do it for you and it takes no time at all. Like I said, this is delicious with many different proteins, or just as is. This is so fresh, so tasty. So good.